River's mother handled the funeral, curiosity mixed with the ache of unfinished business. The next morning, under the steady glow of midday light, River drove out to the piece of land his grandfather owned deep in the forest. Birds scattered as his car moved along the forgotten dirt road, its surface cracked and stubborn from years without care. Eventually, the road dead-ended at a wall of trees. River stepped out, and for a moment everything was silent except for the distant rustle of leaves. In that quiet, he noticed it, a faint, almost invisible trail, overgrown but still there. The key in his pocket felt heavier. He followed the trail, branches brushing against his arms, daylight streaming through the canopy in thin, sharp lines. After several minutes, he stopped. There, tucked into the clearing beneath a massive pine, stood a weather-beaten wooden cabin. The structure slouched slightly, as if time itself had pushed down on it. Moss covered the roof. The windows were smudged with dirt. And above the door, carved into a wooden board, was the name. Wolf's Den. River's breath caught. This wasn't just a building. This was a hidden part of a man he barely knew. He tried the key. The lock clicked open with a slow, reluctant twist. The door creaked. Daylight spilled into the darkness inside, revealing dust dancing in thin beams. The interior felt untouched. A heavy wooden table sat in the center, surrounded by metal chairs. Old biker patches hung on the wall like retired soldiers. The corner held a workbench cluttered with tools, maps, faded photos, and motorcycle parts that must have belonged to machines long gone. And near the back wall stood a bunk bed, the sheets still neatly folded, as if someone had planned to return. River stepped further inside, feeling the air change around him, like entering a room filled with memories that had been waiting for him. He walked to the workbench and saw a photo pinned to the wall. It showed a young Elias, strong, wild-eyed, alive in a way River had never seen. Beside him stood two men, one tall and stern, the other smiling proudly. On the back of the photo were 3 words. My real family. River felt the sting of those words. Real family. What did that make him? Where did he fit into this man's life? He spent hours exploring the cabin, opening drawers, wiping dust off surfaces, piecing together the fragments of a life lived on roaring engines and long roads. The more he discovered, the more he felt something shift within him, a pull toward understanding, maybe even forgiveness. But the cabin wasn't just old. It was falling apart. The roof sagged. Boards were rotting. The floor creaked with every step. River knew it wouldn't survive another winter. That night, sitting on the cabin floor with the daylight fading softly into the trees, River made a decision he didn't fully understand but felt deeply: he would restore Wolf's Denver. Not just for Elias, but for himself, for the boy who grew up wanting answers, for the young man who finally stood on the edge of them. The following weeks became a test of heart as much as strength. Every morning, River drove out early while the sun was still low, and he worked until the shadows grew long. He cleared brush, patched holes, tore out rotted boards, hammered in new beams, and sanded down every inch of wood he could reach. He wasn't a carpenter. He wasn't a biker. He wasn't anything close to what Elias had been. But day by day, the cabin began to breathe again. He made mistakes. He cursed. He learned. And beneath all the frustration, something inside him healed with each swing of the hammer. One afternoon, while repairing the roof under a bright midday sun, River heard the quiet rumble of a motorcycle in the distance. The sound grew louder until finally a bike emerged through the trees, chrome shining, engine purring with age and pride. The rider, a gray-haired man with a trimmed beard and piercing blue eyes, parked beside the cabin. He removed his helmet and nodded at River. You must be Elias's grandson. River hesitated, wiping sweat from his forehead. Yeah. River.